Welcome to programming and problem solving using Python. This is Rishikesh. In this video, we are going to talk about break, continue, pass, and else statements, which are used in loops. These four type of statements are basically used to control the iterations in our loop, and we will see one by one how we can use them in our loops. First one is break. So break statement is used to transfer the control to the end of the loop. It is used whenever we wants to terminate our loop. Let us see how break statement works. So let us say we have a for loop, and in for loop for I in a range, and we want to print the I from 1 to 9. Then we can write for I in range 1 to 10, and then let us say print. Then I want to print the value of I. Okay, now if the value of I is equal to 5. Okay, so as soon as the value of I gets 5, then we will come out of the loop. So I can write here break. Okay, so let us run this program. You can see the value of I is printed from 1 to 5. As soon as we hit the condition that the value of I is now 5, then we come out of the loop. If we comment that part and let's run this again, here you can see now we are getting the value from 1 to 9. Okay, so this is how break statement works, and in similar fashion it is used in while loop also. Okay, then the next one is continue statement. It is used to skip some steps, some statements that we don't want to execute. For example, let us say in for loop, same example is here, and we are just printing the value of I, but I'm adding the if condition, if, and then in if condition, if the value of I is greater than, let us say 5, and it is less than, let us say 7. So if the value of I is between 5 and 7, then what we will do, we will just continue, and we don't want to print those values, so we will skip that steps, and here I am just printing for the sake of understanding that continue statement is used here. Okay, so this statement will run if the value is in between 5 and 7, and then we will ignore the following step. Okay, so this step will be ignored. Now let us run this again. So here you can see now we are printing the values of I from 1 to 5. Then this step is ignored. Now we are not printing the value of 6 because it is we are using continue here, and instead of that value 6, we have continue statement is used here. Only this print statement is now working, and not this statement for the value of 6. And after skipping that value of 6, we are continuing with our remaining values. So that is how continue statements works. It is used in similar fashion with while loops. Okay, then the next statement is pass statement. So pass statement is used when we do not want to run or execute any statements. So we can remove all these statements and we can simply write pass. So if I don't write pass, then it will give me the error. Okay, so let us see. I'll run this code, and now it is giving the error, that is indentation error. Some code is expected, but if I write pass, then we'll be not getting any error, because what pass statement do, it just ignores the code. Okay, so now for this for loop block is ignored because we are using pass, and if I now run, then you can see we are getting no error. Okay, so pass is very useful when we don't want to execute any block of code. Okay, so pass is very important. Next one is else block. So what happens when we come out of the loop, then sometimes we want to execute some statements that we want to execute those statements only when we come out of that loop. So we generally use this else statement in a while loop, but we can use else statement in both for loop as well as while loop. So let us see how we execute else block. Just printing here the value of I, and after coming out of the loop, we simply want to print that loop is over. Okay, so now what happens when we come out of this loop, then the value of this print statement will execute, the else block will be executed. Now one point to remember, if we come out of the loop using the break statement, if I am using the break statement to come out of the loop, then this block will not be executed. It is only executed when we come out of the loop after finishing that loop, not breaking that loop. Okay, so if I run this code, you can see we are getting 1 to 9 values of I, and then loop is over. After completing this for loop, we are executing this else part. But if I write the break keyword here, break keyword, and then I try to run this code, then you can see that only after first iteration we are breaking the loop, and now we are not getting this loop is over, because we are breaking the loop, we are not completing the overall loop. Okay, so this is the main difference. We can use this else block with a while statement also. Generally it is used many a times with while statement. Okay, so these are some basic, very important statements that we use in our loop, so please do remember them. So that's all for this video. Thank you.